From job site to boardroom, Trades Talk is the voice of the next generation trades. Hosted by Justin White, this show is your weekly dose of real talk, motivation, and strategy from the disruptors raising the bar in the trades. If you're building, scaling, or leading, this is your playbook. Welcome to Trades Talk.
Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly update. I'm Justin, your host today, and this is week number 5 we're jumping into. I am so excited to talk about what we have going on at K&D. This week was our department planning sessions. It's the week of 4th of July, so we had to kind of cram things in. But we had our maintenance and construction department planning sessions, and so I'm going to go over a little bit of what we talked about and our theme for the next 3 months in quarter 3. Also, I'm recording this on the morning of 4th of July, and I love 4th of July. It's one of my favorite holidays. It just talks, it embodies freedom. Usually we're at the lake, we're barbecuing, we're with family, we're friends. We are celebrating the amazing country that we live in and the amazing opportunities that we have. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and hopefully motivate you guys just to think about what your full potential is going into the next 90 days. And yeah, first weekly update of quarter 3, and all you guys know at this point, probably I live in these 90-day segments. So today is basically like a brand new day. We're 4 days into quarter 3, into this new segment, and I'm all about my daily non-negotiables. I'm going to talk about that in our theme of Own Your 3. So let's jump into what we're talking about here. Okay, first off, department planning session. So we got together, all of our team members, basically our supervisor level and above, everybody that is going to be a manager or overhead team member is included in these meetings. And they're typically 6 hours, somewhere around that, or like 92-ish, 94-ish. It depends on how many people and what the agenda is. But overall, it's typically 6 hours with lunch. We do them off-site. Very important. Doing it off-site gets your team to take a mental break or a mental vacation from work and the day-to-day and the responsibilities they have at the office, at the yard, at the location they show up to every day. So very important to get away from the office and get out. What we do in these planning sessions, and if you guys are interested in a agenda, what our agenda look like, I am more than happy to share that with anyone. Just send me an email, justin@jwhitegroup.com. I will send you our specific agenda for our exact meetings. No problem sharing that. If you're a Disruptor member or in the Disruptor community, I've got all the agendas inside the Disruptor community and a whole classroom in there specifically built for planning sessions. Anyway, this quarter theme is called Own Your 3. It's 3 words, Own Your 3. And what it is, it's all about this idea of owning your 3 non-negotiables every single day. And I'm going to back up here. It starts with your 3 big goals or big rocks for the quarter. What are the 3 most important things that you need to get done to move your career, your division, your department, your team forward in the next 3 months? And I love when people say, I'm going to get a new certification, or I'm going to go do this training, or I'm going to take this class, because investing in ourselves is the best way to get ahead in today's environment. So what are your 3 big goals or big rocks for the quarter? After that, it's your 3 key performance indicators, KPIs. What are going to be the indicators that you're going to measure every single week to ensure that you're on track with that big rock? I'll explain something. One of the rocks that we have in our maintenance division is to improve our quality to a best-in-class level. Now, we've measured that best-in-class level, and we have a specific proprietary quality control assessment that we do within our company for our maintenance properties, and we have a certain level we want to achieve across the board of our portfolio companies, or portfolio properties, should I say. So with that, one of our supervisors, one of his KPIs, one of his weekly metrics, is to do 5 of these quality control or site audits every single week. So that enables him to do 5 times 13. That's going to be 65 total over the course of the next 3 months. And if we do 65 quality control audits with every single supervisor, well, we'll hit all of our properties. And so that's the idea. And by doing that, we're going to create awareness of the issues. We're going to fix those issues, make the properties better. But that's how you have to break it up. You got to take the big goals and you got to break it up into weekly chunks that you can bite off, you can measure. The next step, we're going to synthesize that down one more level. We're going to go into our daily non-negotiables. Now, we all know that our daily non-negotiables are going to change every day. Now, maybe you'll have a daily non-negotiable that's a reoccurring non-negotiable, but for the most part, the 3 most important things that we're going to get done today while we're awake, the next 18 hours, we need to share those with our team every single morning. So I'll tell you how we do that in our daily huddle. But first, I want to just summarize that. So we have your 3 big rocks, your 3 key performance indicators you measure weekly, and your 3 non-negotiables you do every single day. Now, the 3 non-negotiables that you do every single day are a very, very important part of this. Own your 3. And you guys see how you got 3 rocks, 3 KPIs, 3 non-negotiables, and there's 3 of those. That's your own your 3, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, own your 3 is the whole thing. Quarter 3, there's a lot of 3s. So the non-negotiables, I kind of stole this from Steve Jobs. Not a bad person to steal things from. One sec. Sorry, I'm recording this on the morning of 4th of July. Just drinking my coffee, getting ready to go to a company parade we're doing. It should be fun. Anyway, I'll come back. So Steve Jobs has this thing called signal and noise, where he wants to identify, typically for him, it's 3 to 5 things he wants to get done in the next 18 to 24 hours while he's awake. And Steve Jobs is famous for actually staying up all night and working on things, similar to Elon Musk maybe. And so what Steve Jobs would do is he was like he was kind of insane at this, is he would only do those 3 to 5 things that day. Like no family, no friends, no golfing, no working out, no gym, no hobbies, no nothing until those 3 to 5 things are done. And his 3 to 5 things were kind of crazy. So you can imagine that type of life, but what came out of that is tremendous ultra success. And so those 3 to 5 things that he got done every day, those were the signals. That's what he called the signal, or what is signaling success to him. The noise is everything else. The noise is a phone call, the meeting, the coworker, the bank asking for something. And he just said no to all that until those 3 to 5 things were done. Now, I know that's not realistic for our team, is to just ignore things, because the noise sometimes can be a client reaching out for a request, right? You have to be reactive at some point. You can't be 100% proactive and 100% own your 3. It's just not going to work in our business. Maybe for, Steve Jobs, it worked because he had a team of executive assistants under him. But the truth is, if you can own your 3 every single day and you have accountability to those 3, you're going to get done what you needed to get done that day. You're not only going to make progress on your life and in work, but you're also going to feel a lot better because you're getting things accomplished. I mean, there's a difference between working hard and working smart. We all have heard that, but what does that mean? Well, I think I can synthesize it down. It's the difference of showing up and doing the 3 things that you promised to yourself you're going to do versus showing up and just looking at your email and doing whatever your email says to do. Answering your phone and the client says, I have an issue. You're like, I'm going to drive out to the property right now. That's great. I'm glad we're that reactive, but we're reactive. And we need to be somewhat proactive while also, being reactive to clients. So with all that being said, the 3 non-negotiables start off in the daily huddle. You send those in to the daily huddle with your team on Slack or Teams message, whatever you use. And you're broken out in teams, right? So you have your account managers, you have your supervisors, you have your sales team, what have you, depending on what kind of company and how you're set up. And usually these teams are anywhere from 3 to 10 people, usually no more than 10, ideally. I think 5 to 7 is the perfect number. And you text in that morning before a certain period of time. Our time is before 8:50 a.m. specific. I like that. What are your 3 non-negotiables for today? What is your intention for today? And then, what's your calendar looking like? What are the things that you're going to be doing? Are you in the office? Are you out of the office? Are you in the field? That just helps everyone know where you're going to be at in case they need to grab you and have a quick chat. So the idea here is you're sending in those 3 non-negotiables every morning by 8:50 a.m. or 7:50 or 25, whatever your time is. And then you have accountability to those 3 non-negotiables because you wrote them down. You put them into a Teams chat or a Slack channel where your team saw that. I think that's incredibly important. So that's our department planning session. That is the Own Your 3 methodology. That's your theme. We have your big 3, our weekly KPIs, and our daily 3 non-negotiables. That is how we are going to be successful in quarter 3. Now, when it goes into further strategy, guys, like Obviously, there's so much more going on in these planning sessions. We're talking about the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and threats of our departments. We're talking about how to get ahead in terms of our market segmentation and how do we position ourselves. What's our branding? What's our messaging? What is our focus? All of these things are discussed. And of course, I'm not going to share all of these on the podcast, as some of these are proprietary to K&D and what we are doing, but it's super exciting. All right, let's go into the 4th of July, and I want to talk for 5 minutes while I have you guys a little bit about what we're doing, where we're at. Look, we just had this huge bill pass the Congress, pass the House, pass the Senate. Everything is happening right now at the government level that is just like chaotic and crazy. But I think ultimately when the dust settles, guys, and we look at Q3 and Q4 performance, we're going to be very happy with how the country performed. It's been a tough selling season for the last 6 months, and I do think going forward, we're going to see ourselves in a much easier selling position, at least for the next 90 days. So get out and sell. Okay, so here's the deal. As of today, July 4th, 2025, it is easier than ever to be successful. It is easier than ever to be successful. But it's also easier than ever to be distracted. That's a quote from Alex Hormozy, and I buy it. I'm 100% a believer of that quote. It's easier than ever to be successful, while it's also easier than ever to be distracted. Because let's be honest, anything you want to do is available on YouTube, ChatGPT, Grok, Google Gemini. Like, these AI engines have synthesized the knowledge of our communities, of our industries, of our world. It's incredible. And then add that to YouTube, billions of videos available for you to watch, to study, to learn. If you have something you want to accomplish, if you want to step up to a new role, if you want to start a company, if you want to do something, it has never been easier to do that thing. There's more money in the market to fund your idea. There's more knowledge for you to soak up. And there's more connectivity across the world than ever, where you can hire people from all over the world and work remotely on a company without ever meeting people in person. Now, that did not exist 25 years ago. The connectivity is a huge one, but the knowledge base is also a huge one. And the access to funds is a huge one. I mean, there's no reason why today couldn't be the day that you set everything in motion, that you started your next journey. Look, we're at the beginning of 90 days. And the beautiful thing about this country, the United States of America, it allows you to do almost anything you want to do when it comes to business. Now, you got some regulation to follow, especially if you're in California and New York, come on. But the truth is, you guys, anything is possible. And that's kind of the message for today. I think if you want to do something, if you've been holding on to an idea, a goal, a bucket list item, whether it's business related or not, why don't you just start that today? You might not know exactly what you need to do for every step of the way to get to your successful target or what you're envisioning success looks like, but you probably know like the first step to take. So if you're, I hear this a lot because I talk about this a lot, but if you want to become a pilot, the first step to take is go do a discovery lesson in a plane. It's not that hard. It costs $100 to $200 depending on where you're at. And all you have to do is call a flight school and schedule a flight time. Believe it or not, you can probably book this online right now. You could pause this podcast. You can search flight schools near me on Google. You could pull up your nearest flight school and you could click on their website. And I'm almost positive 90% of the flight schools out there will allow you to book a discovery flight for Monday morning right now online. Boom, booked. And you probably don't have to pay for it until you get there. But that's it. Like, you may not know how to achieve your goals, but you might know the next step. And once you get that step done, you probably will know the next step. And once you get that step done, you guys see where I'm going. Just it's one foot in front of the other. When we were $1 million in revenue, we wanted to be 30 million. We had no idea what 30 million looked like or felt like or anything. Still don't. We're only 20 million in revenue today at K&D. But the funny thing is we knew what tomorrow should look like, and we knew what we needed to do tomorrow. And the more you focus on 10 years from now, the less you're going to act tomorrow. Now, I'm all about having a 10-year goal. I'm a big believer in vision and strategic plan. I'm going to be talking about that at Landscaper in Charlotte, North Carolina. Quick plug, if you guys want to come out, July 14th and 15th, hit me up for tickets. I got a couple tickets left, justin@jwhitegroup.com. I'll be talking about strategic plans. I'll be talking about sweat equity, how we saved our family business and how we took it from 1 million to 20 million by doing exactly that, one foot in front of the other. Coming up on 15 minutes, so I'm going to wrap. You guys have a great 4th of July out there. Be safe, be sane, enjoy your friends and family. And I'll be back next week with another weekly update. Hope you guys are enjoying these. Take care and keep crushing.
Thanks for tuning in to Trades Talk, where the next generation of disruptors comes to raise the bar. If you got value from today's episode, share it with someone in the trades who's ready to level up. For more tools, insights, and community, follow host Justin White and join the movement at jwhitegroup.com.